is Debbie Bond, speaking by video to the Pellissippi Community College public speaking class on April 23rd, 2020. Thank you very much for listening to me today. Americans in the world are experiencing something new now that we've not ever been presented with in our lifetimes, the coronavirus pandemic. I'll discuss some of the self-protection techniques that we must all practice during the pandemic. It's important to thoroughly cleanse your hands properly. The CDC says technique matters, and we all need to take the time to do it right. They recommend 20 seconds of solid scrubbing in between the fingers, all over the hands. And to help make sure we spend the time we should, the CDC offers a little life hack by singing Happy Birthday to You twice while we scrub. Other song choices you can find on YouTube, just playing the choruses, Raspberry Beret by Prince, Love on Top by Beyonce, or Jolene by Dolly Parton, which we all know. Now, I know we don't sound like Prince or Beyonce or Dolly Parton, but maybe we can sound a little bit like this guy.
Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash your hands. Scrub them while you sing this song. Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
I love that one. That's my personal favorite. If soap and water are not readily available, the CDC recommends rubbing your hands together for 20 seconds with hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol, and fully cover your hands and rub them together until they're dry. Hand sanitizers don't work very well if your hands are extremely dirty or greasy. Hand sanitizers have been in short supply, but what is available is being sent to hospitals and clinics, and that is very understandable. But that leaves most Americans without any option to purchase hand sanitizers. So during this demonstration speech, I'm going to show you how to make an effective hand sanitizer at home. There's currently no vaccine to prevent the coronavirus. It's important to know how it spreads. And the virus is thought to spread mainly from person to person. It may be possible that a person can get the COVID-19 by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it, and then touching their own mouth, nose, or possibly their eyes. It's important to know the preventive steps to stay healthy. Number 1, wash your hands often. If soap and water are not really readily available, use a hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Cover your mouth and nose with a cloth face cover, cloth mask, when around others, and clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces daily. Why should I use an alcohol-based sanitizer? When should I use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer? Before and after visiting a friend or a loved one at a hospital or nursing home, or any other time that soap and water are not available. Then use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol, and wash with soap and water as soon as you can. I'm going to do my demonstration now. The World Health Organization recommends the following recipe for homemade hand sanitizer as part of your COVID-19 response. These ingredients can typically be found at drugstores and some supermarkets, and to use, you need to spray on all surfaces of your hands and rub together until they feel dry. And I got this information from healthline.com, but they were referencing the World Health Organization. The ingredients are 3/4 cup of rubbing alcohol, and I'm using the 99% alcohol just simply because I was able to get that. And the higher the percentage, the better your hand sanitizer. I'm also using aloe vera gel. And this is very simple, and this is only included because it gives you a little cut of the alcohol smell. And this is I'm using tea tree oil, but you can use lavender, any kind of essential oils that you like the smell of to cut this smell. So first of all, I don't have a 3/4 cup measuring cup, so I'm going to use a 1/2 and a 1/4 cup, and I'm going to put this into a container that has a pouring spout to mix it. And then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of the aloe vera gel. So I only put in a 1/2 cup of the alcohol so far. So I'm going to put another 1/4 cup in. So we'll have a total of 3/4 cups of alcohol within this mixture. And then the recipe calls for 10 drops of essential oils. And so I'll count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I may have got a little bit more than that. Those drops were coming out, but it won't hurt anything to have a little bit more. So you put all those ingredients in the bowl, and it should ideally be one with a pouring spout, like a glass measuring container or a plastic measuring container. And what I did to make sure everything was sanitized beforehand, I just rinsed it with alcohol. And I just would put a small amount in each item and just swirl it around and then dried it off with a clean towel. So it says to mix with a spoon and then beat with a whisk. And I always just use a whisk. It helps mix everything up very good. It's like beating eggs. And then you want to pour this into a bottle that's marked hand sanitizer plainly. Now I happen to have an empty hand sanitizer bottle, so I'm going to just put it all in there for right now. And I can shake it every time I use it to make sure everything is distributed evenly. So if you don't have an older hand sanitizer bottle, then just use a small bottle of any kind. A spray is really better for this mixture, but it'll work with a pump bottle too. And make sure it's labeled correctly, hand sanitizer. I had made some earlier and just put it in an old Windex spray bottle, and my husband cleaned the kitchen counters with it. So it's not really designed as a disinfectant to clean with, and it left a filmy residue from the aloe vera gel on the counter. So make sure you clearly mark it. In conclusion, the coronavirus pandemic is serious, and we all need to heed the warning that is put in place by our national, state, and local governments. It's important to thoroughly cleanse your hands properly during this pandemic, and always, and if hand washing is not available, use an effective hand sanitizer. Please follow all of the self-protection techniques that I've discussed with you today, and stay up to date on what is happening as our country fights the war on this virus. Be a responsible citizen. So thank you for your time today. I enjoyed sharing this information with you, and remember to wear your cloth mask, practice social distancing, and safe sanitizing for hands. Stay healthy.